All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So today was a much better day than expected. All right, I think it's going to be a lot more evident on different charts, but I mean, even this TLRY one, same thing I said yesterday, right? This is still a bullish chart over the 8 moving average alone, let alone a couple other important lines, right? But what I really love, and again, I'm going to talk about it again today, the S&P 500 did the job. All right. Again, yesterday was scary, but just like individual stocks, indices need to do the same thing. We need confirmation, and this did not confirm down. Instead, it gaps up and closes over the 20 moving average, right? So again, I'm going to need confirmation, and that's something I'll talk about, right? But if the S&P 500 does well, if the Dow Jones does well, we will do even better. All right, because again, the indices are the ocean, and all the little sectors, all the little stocks are just the boats riding it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, today was a good day. Very interesting doji on this one, obviously, right? MSOS did substantially better today. Lo and behold, so did the S&P 500, right? I'm gonna do that same 15-minute chart. High tide volume again is the story of the day. I know it was a red day, and I know volume was a lot smaller than the last 2 days, right? But it actually was, it was good enough. Trust me, all right? And I'll show you that shortly. And then CGC was green when I saw it. Again, I still need a little more, but holding the lines and doing the job, you gotta love it, right? So excited about all these and more, but before we go any further, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself, and then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, giving me your very valuable time. I can't tell you how grateful I am, and I am so thankful that these videos are getting all these views, and I hope my thoughts are doing you well, right? So let's come into this, and again, just like I did yesterday, I'm going to focus on the indices, and then I'm going to come into the sector itself. But 2 very important things I really want to comment real quick, all right? Earnings are on Tuesday for TLRY. One more time, earnings are on Tuesday for TLRY. Listen, every single stock, every single sector, I say the exact same things. Earnings are a gamble. All right, earnings can destroy the best technical setups, and earnings can save the ugliest of the ugliest. You know what I mean? And more than that, earnings can be the craziest reaction. I have seen amazing headlines, amazing just numbers, revenues, OPEX reductions, all this good stuff, and then a red candle. I have seen the dumbest, the horrible of horribles on earnings with reverse splits announced that day, and then big green candles. Earnings make no sense at times, and it's so hard to guess it. And to me, earnings is always just the craziest of craziest. And personally, I am one to exit, watch earnings happen, watch the reaction happen, and then jump back in or just avoid the avalanche, all right? And look, I have to show it, right? This was a strong and good uptrend. TLRY was above the 8, holding the 20, breaking the 50, breaking the 2 and the 100, going above it. Doesn't have the same confirmations that we have here, but earnings destroyed it. Earnings took us well below and actually a little under than where the peak started, basically, right? You can, I guess, arguably say maybe exactly there, but you get the point, right? So earnings has done bad to great technicals here. And look, MACD went into the positive, RSI went from super low to getting there, even volume was starting to pick up, right? So this was great. Bad earnings, bad reaction, right? So there are some headlines that came out. I saw something that said the expectation is a 5-cent loss per share. Listen, I care far less about that 5 cent EPS, earnings per share, -5. What I care about is what were they expecting that number to be? Hey, were they expecting the number to be -17 and all of a sudden we're only at -5 and yeah, that's a beautiful improvement? Or was the expectation 0 or positive? Right? So I really, really care less about what the number really is and far more about what is the market expecting that number to be. All right. Do some homework. You can find that number. That's definitely things I used to do if I was playing and holding through earnings. Right. So go back, listen to the last guidance. All right. Someone threw out in a comment that the CEO of TLRY bought more shares after the bad earnings, and during the additional buying of shares, the comment was, "Hey, I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised. You girls are going to be pleasantly surprised on the next earnings." And I'm sorry for this one, give or take. I'm paraphrasing, right? Listen, never put weight on someone else buying something, from a YouTuber like myself to the CEO of any company. All right, end of the day, a lot of people can get things wrong and still eat steaks and lobsters under the night, right, and still live in their beautiful homes, and hey, you know what I mean. So it's always important to take that with a grain of salt. All right, I'm glad that they're buying. It definitely is a boost of confidence, right, when they do. But again, to me, a person with more money, more knowledge, or whatever buying doesn't mean I need to click buy in my personal account. All right. So those were just kind of the two news things I wanted to talk about. Obviously, the earnings specifically more. All right. So before I talk about this, let's talk about the S&P 500. All right. So I talked about yesterday. Yesterday was a scary candle. When I look at yesterday, look at the low. That's the fourth line on the top. The low was 5,146 and change. We closed at 5,147 and change. All right. So when the low is $1 off the close, that's scary, right? When you zoom back out and you see that this is the first time we really lost the 20 moving average with such a scary candle, that's scary, right? But again, everything needs to confirm. And this morning really helped. All right, this morning helped because it actually gapped up. Now, it wasn't as significant as the gap up yesterday, right? But obviously the close held significantly better than that one, right? So that was awesome. All I really asked for was I think 518 is really what I said, because that's where it was on yesterday, right? Obviously the line keeps moving up. We did get over the 20 and we actually did very nicely. And you can actually see we're about 50% of that candle and that candle. These are some big this is the last, oh, excuse me, a little hiccup. This is the last green candle that we saw, and this is the biggest candle to the left that I see. And yeah, lo and behold, we're above 50% on both of them. Hey, it's by $2, but whatever, I'll take it, right? So again, I need Monday to confirm. I need Monday to come here. I need 5226. All right, $5,226 is the goal, give or take. If we can close there, we're back over the 8, we're over this, and we're actually inside of that, right? So I like all three of those, okay? In a lot of ways, look, we did a decent healthy cool down here too. We were not crazy hot, but we do come to a very low 49 on the RSI. That's not bad, and that might actually help take us back all the way to this high of 82, let alone, I think there was even higher ones if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, right here. Like the RSI was in the 90s not too long ago, in the 80s not too long ago. So bringing it down to the 40 was a good thing, especially when we don't confirm after, right? So easier to be happy knowing that this closes. And again, that's why I always say the close of the day matters. That's why I wait till this time to make my videos, right? You can see the same thing, and I'm not going to go too deep into the detail of it, but Dow Jones did the same thing. Look, not as big a recovery candle versus candle, but we regained a moving average. I'll take it. Right? I will. Get me a little higher, right? Get me, I don't know if that's asking too much. What are you? I'll take that. I think that's a good hope for break into 39,000, right? You can see I'm basically clicking at 39.72. Bring me 39,000 and I'll be happy, all right? Give me just a little bit more and we'll slowly start creeping up. Again, this one lost 3, so I'm going with take 1, cool off, battle the 2 the day after. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, right? But again, we still need more on both, okay? Let's come into TLRY. So TLRY, as I'm giving my technical reviews right now, again, I'm going to echo the earlier thought. Bad earnings will ruin the goodness here, and great earnings will only magnify the good, all right? And that's essentially what I think the bigger thought in my head is, all right? Today was a picturesque doji, all right? What does that mean? Let's take a look at the box over there. We open at $2.60. In a 7-hour day, we run all the way up above my next resistance line. We fall all the way down below the 8 moving average. We literally close to the penny where we opened. It does not get more textbook than that. And I almost want to get a ruler and measure those two because it seems like the up and down wick are like nearly the same, right? So, it very, very much screams uncertainty. Some think we're going to break the resistance. Some think we're going to lose the 8 moving average. I really think nothing matters until Tuesday. I actually believe Monday is probably going to bring a doji as well. I think it's even if the S&P 500 goes up here, my bet actually would be TLRY does a doji again. I don't know why, but like, I just think coming off the last bad earnings, it makes sense to be a little gun shy, all right? It's a beautiful bullishness. Golden cross after golden cross, the 200 and the 20, that's another golden cross right there. I see the MACD coming down. I see the MACD curving. I see the RSI coming down. I see the bad volume the last, 3-6 days. I still see bullishness over the 8, but that earnings is scaring me. It is, all right? So let me know what your expectations are. Let me know if you know what the ESP is supposed to be. Let me know. Again, like I said, the headline I saw was, I think, a 5-cent loss per share, right? So the earnings per share was a negative 0.05. Again, what I care about is that number too high or lower and better than what was expected, right? From there, obviously, a number of other updates can do things, but yeah, earnings per share is always my guess. If there's any important guidance from the last quarter, it would help a bunch if you can put it in the comments as well, all right? I really want this to go up. You know that if you watch my videos, right? But I'm not here pretending earnings is going to be good. I'm not here pretending earnings, it can't do horrible things. And I'm for sure not pretending. This was the view. This was the perfect view. 3 months ago, it ruined it, right? So I know the power that it has in the bad side. If it does well, look, I said this we will break 320 for sure. And I say that with such confidence. Like, nothing's guaranteed, and you know that, right? This is just an educated opinion. We will destroy 320 if earnings is good. For me, I don't care. I don't need to trade from 260 to 320. I will catch it after that and we'll keep going up because earnings and sector will be good. Or for real, we lose 320 like nothing, and we probably come down to 2 and maybe scarier. All right, so for sure 320 is gone come Tuesday if things are good. For sure. If things are bad, we're talking 2. That's my best guess to the earnings unknown. All right. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. I can't stress how grateful I am for all of this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. CGC, I think today did better on CGC than TLRY because we don't got earnings coming up in a couple days, all right? That's my genuine thought right here, all right? Real quick, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share this video, oh, it does wonders. I can tell you already have been, and I'm so, so grateful for it, all right? So, Today was a green day on CGC, and I will be honest, that surprised me. I very much thought it was going to be red yesterday, right? And that's a real big reason why I always say don't ever hesitate to disagree with me, and it's the biggest reason why I never use the words buy, sell, or hold in my comments or my video. I am not here to tell you what to do with your money. I'm just here giving you a forum to give and hear educated thoughts and opinions, right? And man, there were a lot of people in the comments that disagreed with me, and lo and behold, right? So again, never hesitate. I for sure thought this was going to be red, and it wasn't, all right? A lot of it, I think, is twofold. I obviously said my earnings comment, and I'll get back to it, but it starts with the S&P 500. All right, I'm not going to go over it in detail again. I just kind of did on the TLRY side and really in the beginning. But my expectation yesterday was actually 518. All right, I really just wanted to barely get over that orange line. We hit 520. We actually broke it and then some. There was even a wick moment where some people thought we're getting over the 8, right? Now, again, as scared as I was yesterday, I can't get overly excited today, right? I need Monday to confirm. I do not want to come back down right here, all right? 51.8 would be very bad, actually. I need 52... 52.1, 52.2, right? Like that's really what we need. Get me over the 8 moving average, not under the 20 and less than half of today, right? So S&P 500 is very, very important. Look, number 2, I sincerely believe TLRY has a little bit of an earnings gun shy, all right? Earnings are a scary thing, and lo and behold, CGC does not have that, all right? So I like it. Again, this thing is now bouncing on the 8 like a champ. Again, today we wicked down. We obviously kissed it, but yeah, we're holding the 8 like a beast, and really both days we've held this resistance line, this 939. All right, there is a comment that has been surfacing that I really want to address. All right, so listen, there were a lot of CGC bashers. All right, it was actually very easy to do once it lost that 455 and fell all the way to sub 3 during all-time lows, right? And a lot of people kept saying CGC's in debt, CGC has money problems, and one rising comment from a couple people I've seen and across different forums, right, is offering is coming, offering is coming. CGC is going to have to do an offering for debt, this and that. I do not mind. I'll even go as far as saying I like offerings, all right? Now, I have no idea if CGC is going to do an offering, right? Like this technical stack doesn't tell me that, right? My personal and just a little better one that I move my money on, the 1 and 2, there's nothing that says there's no offering indicators. I can tell you that, right? So I'm just talking out loud, but to me, an offering is good. I know people focus on the fact that it brings more shares and it dilutes this and that. Look, I never talk about float. Float doesn't matter to me, okay? I know it does for some, and I'm not here saying float doesn't matter, but if float doesn't matter for me, that means I don't care if there's more shares, all right? What I care about is if a company that, let's be honest, we were talking about falling below 3, that did a 1 for 10 reverse split not that long ago. And I'm looking back, I thought there was another one. Maybe there wasn't. Regardless, like you just came off a reverse split, you just came off all-time lows, you're now at $10 plus. I'm okay with an offering. If someone's willing to buy shares around $10 a share, let's do it. Let's put money in the bank, right? So to me, offerings are not scary, all right? Market reactions might not be good immediately. That's fine, but that's okay. And again, I have no idea if there's going to be an offering. I'm not here pretending there's going to be, but for real, an offering wouldn't scare me. It would adjust my immediate trading strategy. But again, it comes down to reverse split is death. I don't care if it's a 1 for 2, 1 for 20, 1 for 20 million. Any reverse split is horrible. Offerings are in the details, and especially if you're just coming off a reverse split and all-time lows, if you've got someone that's willing to pay actually more than 3x what your all-time low was, let's do it. You know what I mean? So don't let certain comments scare you for no reason. Don't get me wrong. I'm here saying you get worried when you see a big bad red candle under this orange line for the first time since what, November 2023? Yeah, that's worth getting scared about. But offering rumors, let's no that. All right. So my 2 cents there. Again, I've been saying it. I'm going to continue saying it. We're already at 20 minutes, so I don't have much to say. Things are always bullish above the 8 moving average. What was a line that was just impossible to get over. Look at it even worse here. Just impossible. Just impossible. You understand what I'm going to be saying for a number of months. That might be what this line becomes. When it's your worst enemy, it's horrible. But when it's your friend, my. All right? So, let's keep it rolling is all I really got to say, right? Where's the weekly at? I call this confirmation of breaking the 50 moving average. That's a big candle. That's a doji. That's a real look. This is a weekly chart. All right. So that's a big candle after a doji. That's a normal size big, like if this comparatively obviously looks like a big one, right? So this kind of doesn't here, but yeah, that's a big one, right? So, 13 is still what I'm expecting. And look, MACD is kissing, just it's so close to that positive. RSI is at a 76, but again, let's just take it to an 80, right? And volume's not just holding, it's doing really well and sustainably well, right? So I obviously wanted to do more on this video. I will put a couple more tickers out on the next video. I can't stress how much I appreciate you and how grateful I am for all the views. All right. So thank you.